Right, well, let's get straight into it then. The new album, Hypercube Dimensions, is out now.
Yep.
There's a lot to question about the album because it is something unique, it's something different. First of all, straight off the bat, where does the title come from?
It was actually one of the first lyrics that Chris sent me. When I sent him the first piece of music and we were sort of discussing a direction, he sent me some lyrics that he'd actually written when he was a teenager, or maybe late teenager, early 20s, when he was studying maths. And the title of the track was Hypercube Necrodimensions. There wasn't any music for it or anything. It was just literally like a text file with some lyrics in it. So he sent me those and I kind of liked them. So in the end, we sort of settled on that as the title because it was kind of the first lyrical thing that anyone sent to each other.
Yeah, it's a catchy title, and it's also if you're going to have a title track, that's probably the best one because some of the names on here are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
With that being said, like I say, a lot of the songs do have very long titles, and like if I'm trying to make a note of it, I can't even work out how to shorten it. Was it a conscious decision to have such long song titles?
Yeah, kind of early on in the sort of group chat when we were getting everything rolling. I think it was actually Eric, our drummer. He sort of mentioned like, oh, it'd be cool, how bands like Nile used to have these like ridiculously long song titles.
Yeah.
And obviously, I mean, Chris is like super into Balsa Goth as well, so he was like, yeah, I'm up for that. And I quite like a bit of sort of pretentious black metal myself, so everyone was kind of into the idea.
Very nice. And like I say, the album's been out for I think a week now, or very close to a week now.
Just over a week, yeah.
Yeah. Thus far, how's the initial reaction been?
I think it's been really good. I think it's been way better than we'd imagined it would be. Like, and we kind of just did it for ourselves, really. It's kind of this kind of music is the kind of music we all grew up listening to.
Yeah.
So we kind of, just I don't know. I guess in a way, it's a bit self-indulgent. We're just sort of literally, just writing riffs like the kind of stuff we used to listen to.
Yeah.
But I think somehow we've hit like a kind of perfect storm where maybe actually enough time's passed and music is so different now that people are kind of ready to listen to that kind of stuff again.
Yeah.
Because we've had like tons of messages saying like, either saying like I've never heard anything like this before, or maybe like older people saying like, it takes me right back to when I was in my teens and stuff like that. And it's been really positive.
Excellent. I think it's interesting because there's such a diverse collection of musicians in Wizardthrone that people initially weren't sure what to expect. When you got members of Alestorm and whoever else, Aether Realm and everything in one band, then it's not one that you can go, oh, that's going to sound like this. And that's definitely what makes Wizardthrone such an intriguing band as well. And as far as I could find out, you hadn't released any EPs or any demos or anything like that.
No, we discussed in the very beginning. We were kind of like, oh, maybe we should do like a sort of demo. I mean, we made like a 3-track demo, like quite a high quality one, and sent it to Napalm. And originally we were kind of like, maybe we should like either hold off announcing until the album's ready, or we should release a demo and kind of get people into the idea a bit. And pretty much Napalm were like, no, we don't want you to release anything, and we want to start hyping the band straight away.
Yeah.
Which is a bit kind of like, we've got like, oh, what the hell are we going to do for like a year, But I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's quite nice just to put an album out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's a strong start.
Yeah. And did you always intend to sign with Napalm? I mean, obviously some members are already with them through their own projects.
Yeah, well, we already have quite a strong working relationship with them, so we kind of gave them first refusal. We thought it would be a bit rude if you sort of suddenly were like, new band with Alestorm members signed to X record label or whatever.
Yeah.
We gave them the first refusal. We sent them the demo, and they kind of liked what they heard, so they sort of snapped it up straight away.
Yeah, it's a good one as well because Napalm are shooting up, and they've always had some good bands on there, but they're really rising lately.
From my experience, I've dealt with a few record labels, and I think they're one of the best to deal with, and they're doing pretty well all round right now. Yeah.
Awesome. Something else very notable about the album is the artwork. I love the artwork; it's gorgeous. And this is done by Dan Goldsworthy, who's done work for Accept and Draconian, Glory Hammer. I'll edit that out and everyone will think that I just remembered it. Obviously, he's done work with Alestorm as well. So was that just simply a case of, oh, we know this guy is good? Or
in a similar way to Napalm, we've got a really, really good relationship with Dan. Like, whenever we play in Scotland, he'll come to our shows and kind of hang out with us, and he'll message me personally just talking about guitar and stuff like that. We get on really well, and because we know he's going to deliver. Again, it seemed kind of a no-brainer that we'd approach him first and at least see if he was interested. So I sent some of the demos. Actually, Chris sent some of the demos. But about 20 minutes after Chris had sent him, he'd messaged me and he was going like, "Oh my God, this sounds amazing!" Like, yeah, I definitely want to do it. It was just a case of like, working with people you kind of trust. And we didn't really hear with him. We didn't hear from him very much for a few months until he basically finished the artwork, and then he was just like, "What do you think about this?" And we were just like, "Oh my God, yeah, that works."
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the reasons I like it as well is because when you hear the band name Wizardthrone, I think you have an idea of what the imagery will be like, and it's nothing like Blind Guardian or whatever. It's very celestial. It's very it goes well with some of the song titles. It's like Black Hole.
Yeah, I think he did a good job of he did a good job of capturing the kind of like the music. There's a little bit of kind of power metal in there, but it's mostly kind of a bit it's mostly darker. So he did a good job not like locking it into saying just a black metal album cover or a power metal cover or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could look at that and you wouldn't know if it's power metal or a band like Anathema or something like that. Yeah. And that's good. It's nice not to be able to pinpoint down, as it is with music. And but you've done 2 music videos so far. Black Hole, was it? Yeah, Black Hole Quantum Metaphysics.
Thermodynamics.
I knew it was a science that I don't understand. So, and Fresh Winds of Phyraxia. There you go. I pronounced Phyraxia right, but I've got the science ballsed up. How is it shooting these videos, and how well do you think the end product represents the artistic message and the music on the album?
The first one for Frozen Winds was really it was kind of strange because that was still in back in I think we shot it back in February,
okay.
And obviously there's still full blown second wave of the pandemic and stuff, and we're all in countries, so we all kind of just thought let's keep it as simple as possible. We'll just sort of try and have this simple background, and it's just us playing our instruments, and hopefully push the focus on the music, because obviously still you're trying to take in a new band as well. We didn't want to hit someone thinking, oh, is there going to be a storyline or whatever? So we just had to keep it as simple as possible. It was interesting. I mean, the other guys all shot in different locations. I ended up shooting mine in some garage in East London, which turned out to belong to. Have you heard of a rapper called Wiley?
Yeah.
As I was leaving, someone was like, "Oh yeah, downstairs is Wiley's studio," and it made sense because there was a big crazy Jeep and then a Harley Davidson parked in there or something like that.
All right, nice.
I stood there and I was like, "What is this place?" I just I put a message out on Facebook just saying I need somewhere to do a music video. So yeah, I mean, it was interesting. And then Black Hole. After the experience of doing that, we were like, we still don't think we're going to be able to get together. And we sort of had a back and forth. And we just decided to kind of, it'd be easy to just shoot Jake. So he flew out to LA. I think the video turned out pretty well. I mean, it was kind of like mine and Chris's idea, but we also couldn't be there to direct it.
Yeah.
So we kind of left, again, we've worked with the director, Gerard, before. And I think, considering we weren't there on hand, I think he got pretty close to the idea. The whole point of it was to sort of fit the song, really. When I wrote that song, I was trying to kind of write an extreme metal song, but in a really short kind of pop song format almost.
Okay.
Such clashing styles.
Yeah.
kind of thought like, I've never tried to do this, but I want to see if I can just write like a extreme pop song, I guess. I don't know. and so the idea was originally I was like, yeah, it needs to look like a Lady Gaga video or something with like dancing girls and whatever. And I don't know. I don't know if it looks like that, but we also had like maybe 1% of the budget of a Lady Gaga video. So there you go.
Well, as you mentioned, when you're recording the music videos, it was like yet another full wave of COVID. How did the virus affect recording of the album? Were you able to do your parts separately, or was
we basically did everything either in home studios or at a friend's studio. Like I did my backing vocals at a friend's studio because I was living in a small flat at the time and it wouldn't really have worked. But I recorded the guitars there. Eric recorded his parts, the drums at a friend's studio, and everything else was basically just done at people's home studios. It was a bit weird. I mean, I've never really worked like that before, but I mean, I think it sounds fine. And in some respects, because you're not kind of stressed about running out of studio time, you can go back and edit something as many times as you want, and play it again, and just keep doing it until you get it right, basically. So there was a bit less pressure. Maybe you lose a bit of sound quality, a tiny bit, but we've all got like semi-professional setups, so it sounds okay.
Nice. Obviously, as we've mentioned several times now, the members of Wizardthrone are all busy with other projects and that, and it is only you've only just released the first album. But I was curious as to how far you think Wizardthrone can go. Is this going to be a long-term project that you keep coming back to, or is this?
I think so. Yeah. The way we've been. I mean, when we were working on it, we were kind of just like, let's see what happens. But then, as we were kind of getting ready to release it, and all the singles start coming out, and people start kind of getting into the idea a bit and stuff, and it kind of spurs you on a little bit. I started writing a bit more music. We had a few discussions about what we could do with lyrics and image and stuff in future. I think as long as it's fun for us, the cool part. It was kind of like I don't know, like a kind of throwback to our youth when we were, all into this kind of music for the first time round. And obviously part of it is that kind of recapturing that sort of magical feeling of when you were younger. So I mean, if it just became doing albums for the sake of it, then I don't think we'd bother.
No.
But as long as it's fun, then we'll keep doing it.
Absolutely. And you can definitely hear on the music that you're having fun as well. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's struck a chord with listeners. People are digging it. Well, just finally then, obviously, so we've mentioned the pandemic a few times. We're still not sure what the future will hold. But now, what does Wizardthrone have planned to continue promoting the album?
Really now, I guess I'm done with the interview stuff. We've got a booking agent that I've been speaking with. I think he's on holiday at the moment, but I had a call with him just before he left, and I was like, right, album's coming out now. We need to start getting some shows lined up, and it's still kind of hard to say when. He basically was like, once I'm back off holiday, I'm going to get on it,
Yeah.
But it's still hard to say when, because of course there's so many tours and festivals and stuff have just been like pushed back and back and back. It's hard to even find venues. You're basically waiting for someone to drop out. And I imagine even when someone, drops out, there's probably a queue of other people. So it's just a bit of a shit time for booking gigs, really. But the intention's definitely there, and I guess it gives us more time to prepare ourselves and hopefully get like a good show sort of lined up. We already had an offer. I can't really say what for, but we had an offer for something early next year. And suddenly I started thinking like, shit, yeah, what are we even going to, what's the show going to be? Like, we haven't even really thought that far ahead because we haven't even been able to see each other yet, So I guess the next step for us personally is to start planning how that would actually be and how we can deliver a live show that kind of lives up to maybe the expectations that we set for the album. But as far as promotion, I mean, it's limited now as to what you can do. I don't know. We just have to see what happens.
Yeah. Cool. Well, Mike. Sorry.
I was going to say, just try and keep engaging with people through like YouTube and social media and stuff. And
nice. Well, obviously it seems to be working, and thank you very much for taking time to speak to me today, mate. I really do appreciate it, and all the best going forward.
Yeah, thank you very much, man.